Yota Tsuji. Now, this dude, there is a lot here. I think this is one of the true contenders to win this tournament. I think this is one of the guys that could absolutely come through this thing with his name on the streamer, holding up the trophy at the end. He has Callum Newman on the final night. That could be a do or die type of match for Yota. But this whole thing feels to me like he's starting to feel special in a little way. The way they're portraying him, they are very careful in the way they book him. They're careful with who they put him in with, certainly careful about who beats him. He just, again, if he were going to get there and have a good tournament and not be in position to win it, you just leave the title on him. To me, like freeing him of that title is, there's another guy like that too. To me, this is one of the true contenders for this tournament. I think this could be his year, and I'll just say it right here. This is my pick to come out of the A block. I think Yota Tsuji is going to be in the G1 finals.
He feels like the guy. He feels like if New Japan's back against the wall and they're like, we have to make a guy this year, like we have to figure it out in the next 6 months, even if it's half cooked. Like, if we got to pick a guy, this is the guy. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone else has fault that the audience in Japan has not been able to look past at a main event level, but they've been able more so to look at Yota Tsuji and say, yeah, okay, we're with you. Is he ready? I'm not 100% sure, but he feels like the guy.
Charisma-wise, he's ready. He has all the charisma. Now, can he put together that half-hour G1 finals world heavyweight title match that's riveting from beginning to end? I think he's getting closer. He's getting closer. Right. And, I think he's going to take a step forward. I just feel like this is the guy coming out of A block there. There's just something about the way they're presenting him.
You know that the way that they're doing it, you could have two people in the finals from A block.
Yep. You could.
And I think he's going to go very far. We'll get to it at the very end, but yeah, Yota Tsuji is one of my three people to come out of the A block.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And the thing is with Yota, we'll get to what I think is going to happen to Yota later on once we get through the B block as well, because I think his story ventures outside of the G1 world title bubble a little bit as well, but we'll get to all that. He's going to have an interesting second half of the year, Yota Tsuji. I think that if Uemura is in position to be the next Tana, I think this is who they're hoping is that next Nakamura type, that flamboyant, charismatic dude. There's big plans.
The most difficult match that I had to decide through this entire tournament came from this guy. And it was the July 20th match versus Evil.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
I looked at that and I thought, this match is probably going to be incredibly important through this entire tournament. And whoever wins it in the beginning will have ramifications for the rest of the year.
And to keep in mind when you're talking about Evil and Sonata, most of the shows on this tour, they will have preview tags. In those preview tags, there will be other members of House of Torture, which means they will have numbers everywhere. And they, not that they really need them, because sometimes guys like Yujiro and Dick Togo show up even when they aren't, booked to wrestle, quote unquote. But there will be plenty of House of Torture presence, so you can't throw any of it out. Go ahead. Brad ended up with Finlay versus Oiwa in the final.
I said I would share my notes, so I'm just going to go ahead and put these up for everybody.
All right.
There's my Sport of Pro Wrestling. Let's take that comment down so people can see it really quick.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I'll just have that up there for a second. People can kind of see what I did there, whatever. You want to crib it? You feel like that's a good layout? Finlay, Evil, Tsuji at the top there. It's got Sabre Jr., Takeshita, and Umino. In the B block, I gave you 10 seconds. You guys can pause on YouTube later on and get back to that.
All right. Sharks says the uncertainty of things going on is exciting. Crash said he's not sold on Tsuji as a IWGP champ. That winning smile and interstellar dental work doesn't work on me. He's not falling for it, by crikey. I understand. And then there's also some discussion in here about the 3 belts thing is fun because Don Callis can drape himself in gold and walk around. Callis is, Callis is really, really good as a manager, and he always has been. Going way back, he was even when he wrestled, like he would be on WWE and what was it, like the Truth Commission and all that kind of wackadoo stuff he was doing.
Right.
And whenever he would talk, you just think, this guy's really, really good. So if you can put him in a position to be obnoxious, go ahead and do it because Callis can deliver. And all right. Shingo only made semifinals last year, and Zack and Tsuji was the final. Okay.
Yeah, that seemed right.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, all right, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so who do you have going in the A first block here for your?
I haven't broken down seeds or anything like that.
Okay,
I haven't done.
So the way I have it for myself is that it'll be Takeshita and Tsuji on the 14th for B2 and A3 to face David Finlay. And from there, I have Yota Tsuji beating Takeshita and then beating David Finlay to make it out of that side. The other one is when it gets interesting. The A2 would be Evil, and that would be against Shota Umino. And Evil would beat Shota Umino. Evil would then go on to face Zack Sabre Jr. And you could toss this up however you like, running back Zack Sabre Jr. and Yota Tsuji again if you wanted to. But I have a feeling it's going to be Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr. to run back the match at the beginning that Yota Tsuji lost to Evil at the beginning of the tournament. And then Evil loses and then challenges Zack Sabre Jr. at some point as the last of the 3 potential title challengers. You can avoid Zack Sabre Jr. and Yota Tsuji for the title that way if you wanted to do that at Wrestle Kingdom. Or you could have any sort of scenario in which Evil challenges and then Yota Tsuji challenges and then you get your Naito scenario, or somehow Evil, God forbid, ends up with the title by challenging Zack Sabre Jr. in October, winning it, and then it becomes Evil versus Yota Tsuji in the semi-main at Wrestle Kingdom. All of those seem incredibly, incredibly viable to me.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So, I'm just looking back on the G1 from last year. Yeah, Zack defeated Yota Tsuji in the finals. Okay, I had that backwards. He defeated Shingo in the semis. I guess that's the match I was thinking of with Zack beating Shingo. It did happen. It just happened in the semis, and Finlay lost to Tsuji in the other semis.
If Yoda's winning the whole thing, it can't really be Yota versus Zack Sabre Jr. again. It just doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like after all of that and a sameness of the tournament the last year that you do the same final.
Yeah. It's a really similar tournament. So you can fall into that trap as a fantasy booker sometimes to just think, well, it feels that way, and then you realize that you do have to take into account last year, and that would be the case for Zack and Tsuji. Yeah, I agree. It's not going to happen.
Running it back with Yota Tsuji and David Finlay and Yota Tsuji and Konosuke Takeshita, quarterfinals Takeshita and Tsuji.
But Takeshita making post block play last year, and he lost to Tsuji. Okay, and so now it's Takeshita and Tsuji. I still think that Tsuji losing in the finals and then winning it. I think they could absolutely do that.
It will still be the rubber match because they had Takeshita beat Tsuji last year in block play, lost to Tsuji in the post block play, and now this one can be qualified as the rubber match. They're 1-1 with each other, and then going into it with about 4 or 5 days, you can really sell these guys are 1-1. Who knows who's going to win this one?
It's not a bad match to build up as a future rivalry for the ages either.
Right.
Tsuji and Takeshita, and both of them with the size, really, relative to Japan, and
then Evil and Shota Umino on the other side just feels like,
you know what I mean? Like
you use Shota Umino, you get him as that Hontai guy, and then Evil dastardly cost him the opportunity to go forward at the G1. You know what I mean? It's all that.